morning. If you're catching this right now, you're probably catching the replay. This is Junk to Gems Creations, and we're going to give it a couple minutes for everybody to join us. I know I'm early today, guys. Sorry. If you're joining or you're watching late, this is what we're making today. Look how pretty. Rescued some shelving, so we're going to kind of update it and use it for the baby's room. Yes, Lainey, I know. Lainey stole my food this morning, so she's not getting any treats. Good morning. I see you. Good morning. No, you stole my food today, so you're not getting anything. Lainey has been very naughty. She's looking at me. She's looking at me because she wants a treat, but she's not getting one because she stole my breakfast food this morning. So, yeah. No, you're not getting anything. You ate a whole meal already. Good morning, you guys. Hi. I know I'm a little early. I was supposed to go live at 10:30 today, but we have last minute family plans. Good morning. Hi, Becky. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I know I have a couple of you on here, but you guys can catch up if you need to, okay? All right. So I found, well, actually, I did not find these. My neighbors found them for me. They know I'm a huge spring cleanup fan. And I go around junking and I find things so I can refinish them. And I desperately needed something, like some type of shelving for the baby's room. And I even waited. I was like, I'm not buying anything. I'll go spring cleanup. I'll find something to make. So my neighbors found these corner shelves. They're pretty beat up. They were probably used in a room at some point. This one actually had like sticky laminate on it. So I ripped it off and I sanded it down outside. I didn't want to be doing it in here. But this is what we're going to be working on. So this is the one that I kind of started on and then I stopped because I was like, I need to use it for my video. Good morning. Hi, Libby. Hi, Jess. All right, guys. So this is the one we're going to be doing today. This one here, if you look at my pictures, this one here was purple and just really marked up. It was in good shape. It just needed a little bit of love. Okay, so this is another one. This is the one I finished. So if you guys can see, I added my own little border here. I had some old picture frames sitting around, so I added my own little border to the front of it and then just repainted it. Okay, this already is made and everything, so all I had to do is kind of just give them a little bit of love, and I wanted them to both match because they're not the same. Okay, this one's a lot thinner and everything, so I wanted them to kind of match a little bit better. So we're going to do the same thing that I did to this one, we're going to do to this one, just so they match. Okay, all right, but this is my finished one. All right, and these are for the baby's room. I'm so excited. I figured it was a good Mother's Day project to do for the baby's room. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start. Morning. Oh, all four boys. Hi, guys. Hi, Mason. Hi, Logan. Hi, Noah. Hi, Riley. All right, guys, so this project is one of my probably most involved ones that I've done for a while, just because of the baby and being pregnant. I can't really haul stuff. I can't really do bigger projects. And I've been scratching to paint something, and I was like, well, this is a smaller project, so we'll paint this, and we're going to use some chalk paint today. So this is pretty safe. So I'm just going to be using the chalk paint to paint this today. I'm going to need some wood glue, and I got some of my handy tools around me. So we're going hardcore today. All right, guys. So I have my shelf, and I have my picture frame here. Okay. This is an old picture frame that I used for our wedding decorations, and it's just been sitting in the corner. I haven't had the heart to throw it away. So I finally found something to do with it. So what we're going to do is, so it matches my other shelf, we're going to give this shelf the same look. So what I need to do is cut the picture frame to fit at the bottom ledge of this shelf. Okay, so then that way they have the same length. All right, who cares what the sides look like, because you're not going to see the sides, it's a corner shelf, but the front of them will look the exact same. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is the front of this corner shelf had a little bit of trim on it, because I'm sure at some point in time it was really pretty. Okay, and I started already taking that trim off, because what happens is I need that new picture frame. New picture frame, it's not really new, but new framework on my shelf. I needed to sit flush. So this was kind of messing me up right here. If you guys look, it wasn't allowing it to sit flush because there's trim work on it. So we're going to go ahead and actually take the rest of this trim work off. Okay. Make sure you guys can see. I'm going to move you down here a little bit. There we go. All right, so I already started taking it off. So I'm going to go ahead and finish. I have to turn this towards me. You guys are never, or else I'll be taking my hand off. There's probably better tools to be using for this. It was coming off really easy earlier. So you watch. Let me grab a screwdriver. I was taking it off with my hammer, but apparently it's not going to work. Let me see. We'll try this. We'll see if this works. Alright, so I just need to get underneath here. I did have a screwdriver, but I don't know what I did with it. I'm going to start from this corner. It was coming off really easy for me. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say, my other half came off really easy, so I don't know why this half wasn't. Alright, so I'm just going to remove that. We're going to actually just throw it in the trash here. And then there are little nails. I'm just going to pull those out of here. Just like that. Make sure they go in my garbage. Oh, there's no nails on that side. Okay, awesome. So now that this is nice and flush, okay, we're not going to paint or anything there. Alright guys, so now that we have that straight edge, there's nothing there, that border can actually sit on there now. Sit nice and flush towards it, okay? So now we're going to grab our picture frame. So don't ever pass up a good picture frame, because you can always do some cool things with them. So this one here actually is built really well. It has the metal hinges in it. So I'm going to use my long piece. Now the only problem is it's not long enough to cover the whole front of this. So I'm going to have to patch two pieces together. So I'm just going to rip this apart. Just like that. I like hulked it. I looked really strong there, didn't I? This one here is not as easy. That was baby strength the first time. This one here is not. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, there we go. All right. So now that I took my picture frame apart, okay, just going to move you guys down here. I have the three pieces. So I want the longer pieces. This one here has no metal in it, okay? But I do want to be able to, hopefully this works. I don't know if that's going to work to do that, because that has to flip. So I do want to use my longest piece possible, because we are going to patch it together. So looking at my other one that's finished already, I did the thick border at the top and the skinny at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that the same way. Thick at the top, skinny at the bottom. And now that I took that off of there, that sits nice and flush with the shelving. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. And we only have a tiny little piece over here to go. So what we're going to do is we'll measure, not really measure because I don't measure. If you watch me, you know that. But I will line this up after I have the first piece on and cut the second piece just to finish this. Okay, so I'm going to pull this little piece of metal out of here, hopefully. If not, I will grab the other one. I had to use my vise downstairs to pull this end out, so I might have to use my other piece here. My muscles weren't strong enough, and let me see here. I'm just going to use this one. We'll cut off of that one. Alright, so this is the piece that doesn't have metal in. Alright guys, so we're going to use this here, and then I will cut another piece to match up with that. Okay, just like that. And what we're looking at is the corner here. So the corner of the shelf has to match the corner of the picture frame. Okay, at least close enough. You can always, I have a multi-tool that I can kind of clean this up a little bit if it needs cleaned up, but we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not worried about the paint. I'm not worried about the side here yet. We're going to paint everything after I have it all together, and then that way any little pieces that you might see of the shelf, like this little corner here, is going to match and blend in. Okay, good morning. I'll go back and read comments in a minute. This is a bigger project today. All right, guys. So in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and cut my other piece here real quick, just so I can line everything up. And then we'll glue it and tack it here with the brad nailer. So the only concern I have is I'm not going to be able to cut this at an angle because I'm terrible at doing that, especially just with my quick multi-tool today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this straight and cut the other one straight and patch them together. Okay, so let's put the shelf down here and we'll focus on this one. So I'm going to take my multi-tool. Good morning. Yes, Jess, you guys are famous. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my safety glasses on because I'm pregnant and I need to be safe now, apparently. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I want to make sure I'm cutting it the right way. Do it that way. Okay. All right, maybe. I'm struggling this morning. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to draw a straight line down here. Just going to use my, I'm terrible. Don't judge me. I am using my ruler to make a straight line. My husband would probably die right now if he saw what I was doing. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and just draw. Hi, Lainey. I know you're not getting any treats today. If you guys missed the beginning of the video, Lainey stole my breakfast food this morning, so she's not getting any treats. Just bad dog. Alright, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this and go down through here with my multi-tool, cut this straight. I usually stand when I do this, but it's because I'm pregnant, I'm lazy. I see you, but you were bad, so no. No, back up. Thank you. Alright guys, so we went ahead and took that off. Instead of me using a big power saw, it's the safest way for me to be doing this right now when I'm pregnant. So I kind of just cut it there. Alright, and we're going to get the other piece here. I have too many things sitting on my table. I was going to do this project outside today on my picnic table, but it is like 38 degrees or something outside and it's pouring down rain. So that kind of cut that for me. Alright, so I still want to keep that little angle here at the side because it matches the shelving really well. So I'm going to just go ahead, scoot that over, line it up best I can. Does not have to be perfect. And then I'm going to look over here, okay? And now I need a piece about that big. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I should have brought clamps up. I couldn't find any of my good clamps. I don't know what I did with them. So I'm going to mark this with my Sharpie. It's too hard for me to hold two pieces on here. So I'm going to mark this with my Sharpie here, just where I need to line the other piece up. Okay. And go by that line. Okay. So now I know where I need to put my other piece here and finish the rest of this border. Okay, keeping in mind, I want to keep my corner over here, so I don't want to grab the wrong piece where it's flipped and the border's on, you know, the smaller border's on top. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to line this up as best as I possibly can. That looks pretty good there. Just like that. I'm going off my mark here that I can see. I'm just going to kind of draw a line just to start that. So that's the piece that I need cut. Alright, so I'm going to get a straight edge here. Put you guys up a little bit so you're not just seeing my belly. Alright, and so I'm just going to use my straight edge on my ruler because I'm lazy and I don't feel like grabbing anything else to do this. There we go. Alright, and I'm just going to mark that line the whole way down just so it's pretty straight. Just like that. So any black marks from the Sharpie that are left on here will touch up with the white paint, okay? So I'm going to grab my handy dandy multi-tool again. I actually have a square laying on the floor back here I could have used. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut. Perfect. Get rid of this dust. Alright, I'm going to grab my little piece here that fell on the floor. Alright guys, I need a camera person for projects like this. Anybody interested? It would be, I couldn't pay you. Alright guys, so I'm just going to clean up this edge just a tiny bit. There we go. This is the best tool ever. I love this thing. You have different attachments for it, and you can sand, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. This is my favorite tool because I am somebody who I'm pretty brave when it comes to using tools, power tools, but when it comes to using like saws and stuff, I don't like using them. They scare me a little bit. So this little guy here is my like favorite. Alright, so now that we got that, I'm just going to make sure they're pretty flush here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be perfect because of the way that their, the framework is. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to get these as perfect as I can to each other, if you guys can see what I'm doing. This actually has I was wondering why this was rocky. It has a, somebody at some point put a sticky on the back of this. I was like, why is this thing not sitting on my table, like, straight? It's not bent, so there we go. That helps a lot. Alright, so that looks a little bit better there. Perfect. So the middle's a little bit thicker here. I'm just going to kind of get this. Let's see which piece. That one's pretty flush. To be a little bit, cut a little bit more. Okay, there we go. That looks a little bit smoother. Perfect. And now it's supposed to look old and vintage. Good. I'm just kind of being picky right now. Try not to breathe in any of this dust. Alright guys, so that fits together pretty well, okay? So at the end of this, after I have this on there, I can't do it right away because the glue will need to dry. But before I paint this, I'm going to get a tiny bit of wood filler, and I'm going to just fill this in, and it'll just look like one solid piece, and after I paint it, you won't even know it's there. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead, I'm going to clear some of this dust off of here. Good morning. Let me catch up on some comments. Hi guys. Yes, Bernie, I love it. I think every brand makes it. I know Ryobi and Craftsman, I think they all have them. they're just the multi-tool. Most favorite tool ever, because you can even put like a sanding thing on it, and everything. It comes with so many different little things. Now it's not cheap, excuse me, for the attachments, but it's well worth it. I use it all the time. Other than like a sanding block or a orbital sander, that's what I use the most. All right, let me see here. I don't think I missed. Morning, Mom. Okay, good. I'm trying to keep up on comments, but it's kind of hard when it's a bigger project. All right, guys. And if you guys haven't noticed, my husband got me some beautiful flowers for Mother's Day. Woohoo! Aren't they gorgeous? I just had to include them in my video today. All right, guys. So now that we have that done, I'm going to make sure this lines up okay. Make sure I didn't make any big mistakes. Nope, looks pretty darn good to me. All right, and like I said, when I put this on here, I will fill that with a little bit of wood filler, attach it, make it look a little bit more blended. I'm not going to be picky about it right this second. Perfect. Okay. All right, so now what we need to do is attach this. Okay, so now that we have the front of this done, voila. Okay, looks pretty awesome. And it matches our other one now. It's exciting. And I used 2 salvage finds, which makes me even happier. I didn't really have to buy anything for this project, which makes me so excited. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the bigger piece first. And to do that, I'm going to move you guys away a little bit more. I do need a camera person. This is getting sad. Okay, so to do that, I am going to use my wonderful wood glue. Okay, I usually use, not that this is a really hard used thing, it's a shelf. It's not like it's going to be outside. It's not going to have to be extremely durable. It's not like it's something being thrown around or moved a lot. So I'm just using regular wood glue. However, I would normally use liquid nail, okay? But I didn't have any of that, and I wasn't running to Lowe's this morning just to grab some. All right, guys. So I'm using my brad nailer here, okay? Dangerous little tool, okay? My husband actually had one for an air compressor, and then this is his new baby. This is his one that he got. It's battery operated, which is so nice because I hate the air compressor. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make sure here that lines up good. And I'm going to put a little bit of wood glue on both pieces, okay? Let me move my camera back up and stand up for this. My belly gets in the way now. It's hard to do certain things. All right, let's see here. Good. Don't mind my mess behind me. I haven't been able to clean up here for a while. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue. Put glue on both of these pieces. Not too much. I don't want to overload it, and then you're going to have a mess everywhere. I'm going to grab my rag because I will have a mess, and I'm going to put glue on this side too. I'm just going to go up to my black line here where I know that piece ends. We don't need to go past that right now because we're not going to do the other piece just a second. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line that up as best as I can. Make it look nice. Perfect. Okay. Looks good. I'm just going to throw my other piece on here just to make sure it still lines up really well. Make sure I don't have to make any little movement. Actually, that's pretty darn good. I did pretty good on this one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my brad nailer. I'm going to hold this together. Okay, and I'm going to just go ahead and put a couple nails in this. And I want to make sure they're really flushed with that wood so nothing catches on them. All right, got one there. I'm only going to put 2 in. I don't want to split my wood here. Sometimes if you ever used a brad nailer before, they're pretty good. They just push that in and they don't really split anything unless you just keep pounding. So we're going to go ahead and put another one in here. Better move my hand away from there. That would be my luck. I'd put a nail through my hand this morning. Alright. And good. I was hoping these nails weren't going to be too long, and they're not, so that's awesome. Okay. So there's my little piece there. Okay. Right on the front of it, just some wood glue and the brad nailer. If you don't have a brad nailer, that's okay. It's alright. I know not everybody has one, okay, but you can just use little tack nails and tap them in with a hammer. That's okay. I wouldn't use any big type of screws or anything like that. You want to get the real tiny little nails and just tap them in, okay? You just want to tack it, all right? Glue and a little bit of tacking is fine. All right, guys, so here's my little end piece. I'm going to do the same thing with it. I'm going to move this out of my way over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this, okay? I didn't even look to see if any of my glue squished out. Yeah, it did. I can feel it on the back side here. Let me wipe that off real quick. So I'm just cleaning up. You can tell some of that glue came out. That's a good sign, because that means that that board is really on there, okay? It's pinned on there. You could put a middle one on there if you want. I might go back and put a middle one on after I have this piece on. And a little bit of wood glue here too as well. All right. Got my little piece of my picture frame. So this one here, I'm only going to put one little nail in because I don't want it to really, I don't want it to split. It is a small piece of wood. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, get my brad nailer here. I'm going to put this one in the middle, just because this piece is kind of a little bit more, I don't know if it's because it's another side. Oh, see, that split my piece here. Let's see, we can save it here. I had a feeling it was going to do that because it's such a small piece. I shouldn't have probably used my hammer there. Let me see here. Okay. Alright, so I did split this by putting that nail in there and then pounding on it like an idiot. Alright, so I'm just going to grab my glue. Actually, it might not be okay. I'm going to grab my glue because it's not completely split the whole way through, which is good. I'll turn this towards you guys here in a second. I want to put some glue down in here. I am good at one thing, and that's fixing crap that I break. I'm really good at it. I just always have been that way. If I made a mistake, I'm good at kind of, not covering it up, but making it look pretty good. So I'm just going to get glue down in there. Perfect. I shouldn't say covering it up. That's not what I meant. Fixing it. Making it look good and matching. All right. Okay. So I glued that little tiny piece where I had that crack on there. So that should be good. It'll hold. For what this is going to be used for, it does not need to be insanely durable. So we should be good with that. Perfect. Okay. Hopefully it stays. We're going to find out. Alright, and I'm just going to put another little brad nail here in the corner. Hopefully it doesn't crack anymore. We're going to find out. Nope, we're good. Okay. And this will hang on to that now. Actually, that glue didn't settle down in there at all. So right where I put that little brad nail, it decided to split on me. So we're just fixing it. I don't want to cut a whole nother piece because this one matches pretty darn well. Actually, that kind of worked in my favor with that splitting, because now that matches a little bit better there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just let that set. I'm gonna get a clamp and put a clamp on here after we're all done here. I don't have one close to me, I don't think. No, I don't. Okay, so now that will keep that together, and we will touch this up with paint. Okay, so there is, voila, my little shelf. Okay, it has the nice border, has the same thickness now as my other little shelf in the front. You can't tell that it is skinnier, which is awesome, right? I'm gonna move this so I don't knock it off the table and my husband doesn't yell at me for breaking anything. There we go. Okay, so now back to the shelf that I already did the other day. Look at that, so cool. So now, even though that this shelf was thicker and looked a lot different from the front, you're never going to be able to tell. So when it's in its corner in the room, you're never going to be able to tell that it is a different type of shelf. Okay, so woohoo, made those two look alike. And then I still have one little piece of my frame here, well, two pieces of my frame here still I can use for a different project, something that maybe needs to match her room. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Be very gentle with my one corner there that I had to fix. All right, and take my safety glasses off here. And now what we're going to do is paint. Okay, so I'm not going to paint the frame that I put on the front of this because it needs time to just set, and I need to use a little bit of wood filler on it just to get those two pieces to match a little bit better. So we're just going to focus on painting the top of this for now. That way the top will be dry by the time I need to finish painting the front. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my paint. Good morning. Let's see. Yes, yes, I know, Mom, I have a big belly now. And she is growing and she's letting me know she's here. Happy Mother's Day, Anna. Awesome. Okay, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and move you back again. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and just paint this. I'm going to try not to move it too much so I don't have any issues with that falling off. Alright. So I am using a ruler. I usually use a tack cloth to wipe off all my projects that I'm painting, but this is such a small project and I didn't create that much dust. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this off with my cloth. Looks good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get my paintbrush here, and I'm using a paintbrush and a ruler, and I'm just going to go ahead and add some paint on here. And this is chalk paint, and of course white, because the baby's room is gray and white, and I have a little bit of mustard color in there. So I'm just going to paint this all white, and then we're going to take my roller over it and just smooth it out a little bit, okay? I'm putting a pretty heavy coat on this because I just want it all white and it needs to cover what's underneath. This one here is just, it's a little bit more beat up than the other one, so you want to make sure all that's covered. But they're built good. Whoever built these shelves, I can tell they were hand built. They're definitely not like a factory made, you know, bought at a store, bought at TJ Maxx or something. They're definitely hand built. So they're sturdy. Like, who would throw these away? Come on now. All right. So I'm going to grab my ruler. And I'm just going to go over, make sure this has nothing on it. Okay, good. I'm just going to go over this and just flatten that all out. It'll probably need 2 coats. Definitely will need 2 coats because of what's underneath of this. I did sand it and stuff, but it's still a little, you can still see through it just a tiny bit. And this ruler is giving it kind of like a grainy look, not look really, but texture, which is good. I'm painting my hand today, I guess, which is good. That way things don't really slide off of it. Kind of has that grainy look. I've got dust on it. One second. Must have had little pieces on my brush here or something. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right. Okay, guys, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm running out of spots to put my paintbrushes. All right. So now that that top is painted freshly, it's gonna look so nice. And then I am going to paint the front of this too, okay? So we'll go ahead and I could actually use my brush for that just so you guys can get an idea how it's gonna look. So I'm just gonna paint real quick here the very front of this, not the not my framework yet because it's still drying. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this. If I get a little bit on there, it's okay, but need more paint. So these will work perfect. I really wanted some corner shelving for her nursery, just because her nursery is pretty small. I mean, it's not really, really small, but it's small enough that by the time we have everything in there, you know, there's not a lot of spaces for like a bookshelf or anything like that. So we wanted something on the wall, but where I wanted it, it almost had to be in the corner. So I'm glad that my neighbors picked these up for me. They just know me that well. They always go spring cleanupping, just like I do. And they always pick me up things that they think I might like. All right, just like that. That way this is ready for a second coat, because this here's only going to need a fresh coat of white over top of it, just to kind of freshen it up a little bit so it matches a little bit better. It's been sitting for a while, so that paint's kind of gotten a little bit dull. So after that glue dries, I will go back and just kind of touch up that paint on the front of this, make it match a little bit better. There we go. Just like that. All right. I'm gonna get my roller and take it just over the top of this, because I'm using that paintbrush. It left some brush strokes. I cannot stand brush strokes, so there we go. Alright guys, so there's the front of my shelf. It matches the other one perfectly. Let's see if I can hold both of these at the same time. There we go. But that's what they're gonna look like after I kind of freshen up the front of this one. It'll match a little bit better. And now that they're the same height, it'll look awesome. So some is salvaged from the garbage that we're just gonna be tossed and thrown in a landfill somewhere. Oh, I'm dropping things. Are now gonna be part of my baby's nursery. Check that out. Pretty awesome. So excited. Alright guys, so that was pretty much it for the video, because I can't really do anything else until that glue dries, which all I'm going to do is get a tiny bit of wood filler here. Right where I combine those, I'm going to just run it down in here and patch it up a little bit, make it match really well so you can't even tell that I put two pieces of wood together there. And I think it'll look awesome. Okay, after it's all done. And then once I do that, I'll freshen up the paint on the very front of it, that framework, just to make it match a little bit about the top, just because it kind of faded over the years of, you know, from when I first painted it, it faded. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna let this dry 24 hours before I do anything else. All right guys. Oh, I kind of messed up my paint here a little bit. Let me fix it before it dries. Must have smudged it with my finger. There we go. And then I will do another top coat here on this top of the shelf also. All right guys, well, happy Mother's Day to any mothers that may be watching. So exciting. I'm sure you all are awesome, fantastic, loving mothers. So that's awesome. So blessed to be a mother soon here myself. So I can't wait. Mom, Jesse is still working. Yes, he is still away. So it's been me here. He's coming home hopefully maybe Wednesday or this next weekend. Fingers crossed. I need him home. I miss him. It's been a while. But happy Mother's Day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I know I went early today with this video instead of 10:30 because I have family stuff I gotta get to. But happy Mother's Day. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so blessed to have every single one of you. Enjoy your Mother's Day with your families. All right, guys, we'll see you. Bye.